designed a system that is designed to cheat.
Here we are once again. Floating somewhere between Earth and space, just trying to figure it all out. We got a hell of a lot to talk about here tonight, Space Fam, so I guess we'd better get right to it. As always, do not forget to buckle up those seatbelts, otherwise you might go floating off into that deep dark void, never to be seen again. Suffice to say, that would be bad. Space Fam! It's beautiful to see all of you folks here on this Thursday evening. So much to talk about. Might have to do 2 shows. We'll see how it all plays out here tonight, time-wise. But big address Trump has been building up to all week. We've been waiting for it, and time, the culmination. It's a culminating. Oh boy. I do have potentially a big ol' secondary stream I might do after this. We'll see. Might get pushed off the weekending report status. Oh yeah. Trump planning to give a big primetime speech here in about 35 minutes. Some quick shout-outs, I suppose. Quaximus, Hermit Horologist, and Sarah Layla. 123 in the YouTube chat. Atticus Among Us, close fourth. Fishbone, also here. Frizzla. Young Chris, Schmegley. The Reference Frame. Christy. Cat for Life. Mr. Spock. HBX. Earth Homies. I see Jaeger 8 Larson over on Twitch. Ducky. 2. Alright, people, American time. Hold on to those hats. Clown show incoming. Nope, sounds low. I knew it was low. I could feel it. I could feel a disturbance in the force. Everybody's saying it.
This morning, new details about the primetime address President Trump is set to deliver tonight.
It's really, really big news. It doesn't get bigger because without free and fair elections, you don't have a country.
Sources tell Reuters the speech is expected to reveal intelligence claiming that China had the ability to interfere in the 2020 presidential election and that Beijing may have gained access to U.S. voter data. The White House overnight not commenting. An intelligence community assessment back in 2021 found no indication any foreign actor altered the 2020 vote. Trump's address tonight comes a day after his nominee for National Intelligence Director, Jay Clayton, faced a confirmation hearing on Capitol Hill and refused to say outright that Joe Biden won the 2020 election.
Just asking a really simple question. Who won the 2020 election?
As I said to you, we went through our processes, and Joe Biden became the president of the United States.
And answer the question. Who won the 2020 election?
I have answered.
Answer it. What is your answer?
I've given you my answer.
What is your answer?
The answer is no answer.
Isn't it humiliating to be unable to answer this question? To have to indulge the president's delusions?
Also on Capitol Hill, the president's attorney general nominee, Todd Blanche, who previously served as Trump's personal attorney, was grilled by lawmakers from both parties.
Are you and President Trump friends?
I'm his lawyer, was his lawyer, and now I'm the deputy attorney general.
A single Republican no vote could sink.
Does anybody think Trump has, like, any actual, like, friends? Like, I found this, like, and I still haven't had time to listen to all of Todd Blanche's testimony. I gotta get to that. It's hours of it. But Does anyone actually think that, like, people are Trump's friends? Or, like, any of these billionaires have, like, any real friends? It's just a bunch of people around them who, like, either work for them or are, like, in similarly powerful positions that are, like, collaborating with each other on this or that, you know, like, criminal conspiracy.
Illegal.
But, like, name one person, like, aside from Jeffrey Epstein, that was actually Trump's, like, friend. Like, I feel like all these people have, like, ulterior motives. They're, like, hanging out with each other. Right? Like, even Howard Lutnick, who's, like, one of his golf buddies. Or was it Steve? Like, they're both in, like, real estate. You can't tell me they're not on the golf course talking about business. Like, all of these relationships stem from business and or other sorts of activities, right? Like, yeah, like, of course Todd Blanche wasn't Trump's friend. It doesn't matter to me if Todd was his friend. He was one of his paid fucking lackeys. That's the problem. Who cares if they're friends? I don't care if Todd hates Trump's guts. He was paid to cover up shit for Trump. Literally, it was his job to protect Donald Trump legally at all expenses. A bill with which I think has come due and has been getting paid by like, vicariously or like directly through his appointments. First to assistant attorney general, and now this. Oh, God, I really need to listen to that goddamn testimony.
I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir.
But also, you can't tell me he doesn't have some kind of weird feelings about the president for him to say that. Let's just listen to that one more time.
I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir.
Right. Like, there's something weird going on there. I don't know if I would. I don't know if that makes them friends or what. He sees him as his daddy.
Daddy can do no wrong.
It's a seriously weird relationship for a DOJ appointee, let alone the AG and the president of the United fucking States. A little ridiculous, if you ask me.
This is ridiculous.
We are just hours away from President Trump's primetime address set to take place at 9 p.m. Eastern. The president has said he'll discuss, quote, free and fair elections as he continues to push unsubstantiated claims that the 2020 election he lost to Joe Biden was stolen. The president has also teased that he will deliver, quote, really big news. Two senior administration officials have told MS Now the speech hasn't yet been finalized, but will focus on voting machine security and alleged efforts by foreign nations to influence U.S. elections.
So I found this fascinating. So this was like 12 hours ago. If you just look at the timestamp at the bottom of this video. Wait, can you all see it? No, it's blocked out. Oh, sorry. I can't reach. I can't reach the I can't reach the switch from here. But it says 5:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the left-hand corner there. Here, we just do this. There you go. Now you can see it. This is like 12 hours ago. And they still don't have a full speech. But he's going to wing it. He's going to get that. He's going to wing this one. Good God. What are we about to witness?
I want to bring in White House columnist for The Hill, Niall Stanage. Niall, I want to just start there on the speech itself. What are you hearing is going to be in the presidential address, and what are you most looking out for?
So it seems like there are going to be various subjects within this, but to the point about what we should all be looking out for, I do think it is going to come down to this seemingly likely attempt to sort of pump more smoke into the election interference issue, suggesting that new evidence has been uncovered. Now, I suppose, theoretically, it's possible that the president has indeed some bombshell news to produce, but I think given his track record, which, let's be frank, involves lying repeatedly and making false allegations of election fraud, election interference.
Oh, no, this guy, this guy is very skeptical about this speech. Yeah, I think I'm in that camp as well. A great deal of skepticism around what it is the president's about to tell us. Like, I don't expect any evidence to be trotted out here. If there is, it'll be like tweets. It'll be like truths on Truth Social, you know? Or something like that. Like AI slop. He's like, look, ballots. This is proof. But the thing that I keep trying to point out about all of this, now that Trump is bringing back this 2020 election fraud thing, is that it doesn't matter. He's president right now. And unless he wants to stop being president and talk about, you know what I mean? This is irrelevant. It's to some degree irrelevant. Unless he has some sort of bombshell evidence. Which, we were just saying, many people are quite skeptical, dubious of. Then what's the point of this? Because I also offered an olive branch, too, earlier, when we talked about this the other day. If he wants to do, I will play this game. Let's play the game. Trump, if they think that voter fraud happened in 2020, right, and he wants another term, I'll give him 4 years. In 6 years from now, if he drops out and we hold a nationwide general election, right? And that the midterms also include, or you know what I mean, like, or that like 6 months from now, maybe after the midterms, we do like a, you know, we do like a snap presidential election of some sort. Like, yeah, honestly, like this is what I'm saying. He's like, yeah, go right ahead. 80-year-old man who is currently sundowning and on a fucking, just what I assume to be a cornucopia of pharmaceutical remedies to keep him alive and kicking. Go, let's wait 6 years. I'll give you another term, but let's have you get out now. Give us 6 years, right? Like that's I'll take that. I will take that all day. You know why? Because because there's all sorts of shit we can do. But otherwise, shut the fuck up about it. Because I don't give a shit, and it doesn't mean anything, because you can't serve 3 terms, right? you can't serve 3 terms. It's unconstitutional, right? The whole thing is fucking unconstitutional. Everything he's been doing is unconstitutional, and I guess what I'm saying is here, I am betting on the fact that some sort of medical reason prevents him from being president 6 years from now, or that with power for 6 years we could do something to prevent him from being able to do anything. We could just make president just a completely ceremonial position, you know, like that doesn't hold any power. I don't know. I'm just coming up with options. But otherwise, people just need to shut the fuck up about it. But he's about to not shut the fuck. He's about to be going off about this shit. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
A lot of people are going to be very skeptical of whatever he has to say in that regard.
I think the skepticism is really important because in anticipation of the topics in this speech that we've heard talked about, everything from Chinese interference that they're going to try to allege. I've been looking back at some intelligence community assessments on the Hill. Influence elections, sure, foreign actors try to do that all the time, but no assessment found proof of interference. And I think that's something really important for us to keep in mind, especially given the ways that this president has been quick to push dubious, controversial, unfounded claims of election interference from an election that he lost. And so as someone who's covered this White House for a while, I don't see anything new that they could possibly present. But what does it say that they might do so with top officials like the director of national intelligence, the CIA director, potentially standing with the president from the biggest megaphone this country has to offer?
You know, I think you raise a great point there, particularly at the end, Ali, because what has happened, obviously, is that the president has now stocked the intelligence agencies with people who are uber loyalists, hyper loyalists to him.
I did everything
and
right,
are
and
therefore
they
prone
indicted
to
me.
trumpeting whatever he says about these election claims. You also, I think, made a point that's worth sort of developing a little bit more about the idea that foreign nations have tried to influence but not affect elections. One of the reasons they have not really got their hands in the gears of how we conduct elections, of course, is that elections in the United States are quite localized and dispersed. That in itself, as you know, is something that the president has tried to change. And
yeah, and of course, that's not just happenstance, that's in the Constitution. The elections are supposed to be dealt with by the states. You know, not an accident. All right, let's check in at the Ministry of Truth. New Mother Caroline Leavitt asked some questions by the press here.
I mean, this woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Caroline. Sure. Regarding the president's speech tonight, he's been in office over 540 days now. If what he says is tonight is backed up by evidence, why hasn't anyone been charged?
Well, he hasn't revealed it yet. He hasn't declassified the documents yet, and you will see what he says tonight, and then we'll move forward appropriately from there.
Tonight from the Justice Department?
I don't speak on behalf of the Justice Department.
Caroline. Oh, Caroline. She's trying her very best over here, everybody. Just give her some slack. That's a difficult question being asked of her by Catelyn Collins. Like, you know, things like, if Trump is coming out with a bunch of new evidence about the 2020 election, why have there been no charges brought yet? Because, dummy, because he has to be the one to announce it. I mean, that's basically what Caroline said. She was like, because the king hasn't declassified it yet. That's the whole purpose of this. we're doing, like, that's kind of what she implied, is that actually the charges are coming and President Trump, he's just declassifying it right now. Just listen to it one more time. Tell me I'm wrong about that.
Thank you, Caroline. Sure. Regarding the president's speech tonight, he's been in office over 540 days now. If what he says is tonight is backed up by evidence, why hasn't anyone been charged?
Yes,
well, he hasn't revealed it yet. He hasn't declassified the documents yet, and you will see what he says tonight, and then we'll move forward appropriately from there.
Tonight from the Justice Department?
I don't speak on behalf of the Justice Department, Caitlin. You know that. Rachel.
By evidence, will there be charges?
You'll have to ask the Justice Department. I don't charge people. I just speak on behalf of the president. Rachel.
Thanks, Caroline. Welcome back. Just a point of clarification really quick. On the staffer who is accused of profiting off of the president's speeches.
Yes.
You said he'll no longer be working here. Is he on administrative leave or is he going to be fired after October?
He's on unpaid administrative leave right now.
Okay. And
we're going to talk about this a little bit too before we get to the president's speech. But this is the whole press conference from earlier this afternoon, and there is a bombshell report out today detailing the Calshi activities of the Trump White House's teleprompter guy, who's apparently been using his access to Trump's speeches to make bets on Calshi about, you know how, like, you can just bet on, like, words said by, like, officials? Well, shock of shocks.
To follow up on the president's speech tonight, I mean, we've been talking to a lot of Republicans over on Capitol Hill. They have said that focusing on the economy is the right way to go ahead of the midterm elections. They believe that's what voters care most about. What does the president say to Republicans who think that focusing on the 2020 election, election integrity, all of these issues right now is not the right approach so close to the election?
Again, you guys have not heard the speech yet, so I would digress with the criticism until you actually hear what the president is going to say and what he's going to say when he addresses the American public. I would also add again that the administration and especially this president are able to walk and chew gum at the same time and tackle a number of issues on a number of different subjects every single day. We see that president do that, working around the clock on foreign policy, on
I've never heard anybody tell anybody else to digress. Like, I've heard people talk about it like in like a self-referential way, but never in my life have I heard somebody tell someone else to digress. Hey, look, I'm gonna need you to digress, okay, from this line of questioning. It's very rude. You guys haven't even heard the speech yet. Like, look how upset Caroline is. She's like, you guys haven't even heard the speech yet, okay? I don't know why you're all asking so many questions about a speech you haven't even heard. All right, I'm gonna need you to digress for a second. I just need everybody to just ask any other question, please, for the love of God.
policy all of the time. You all report on it, you have to keep up with it, so I think you can agree with me on that point. And I would also add, the president will continue to be traveling all around the country to talk about the economy. We were just in Pennsylvania a couple weeks ago touring a Mack truck facility, which has been greatly strengthened and enriched because of this president's economic policies over the last year and a half, and he loves doing that, and he will continue to do so.
We can do both, says Caroline. We can do both. We can talk about 2020 election conspiracy theories and deliver for Americans. I don't know what it delivers. I don't know how it enriches Americans or anybody, really, for Donald Trump to tour a factory. That doesn't, does that lower costs? I'm just trying to figure that out. Like, economically speaking, does Trump showing up to a factory make it better inherently? Is he like, he's like Jesus? Shows up to a dry cleaner?
When I go into the dry cleaner, that dry cleaning place becomes holy.
Or Paula White, whatever her name is. Showing up to dry cleaners, making them holy.
That's in the Bible.
Apparently this whole thing is going to be quite shocking. And unfortunately for the Trump White House, Congress people don't seem all that excited about this address that Trump is planning to give.
I'm not sure. I know he's going to talk about election integrity, but it's a big issue for the country.
Donald Trump lost the 2020 presidential election. Something's really wrong with this guy. I think he actually needs to be checked out.
Look, we can't re-prosecute that campaign. Anytime you're looking back, you're not looking ahead, and I'm looking ahead to these elections, and the president should as well.
He needs to get over it and just admit that he lost and move on. He's obsessed with the 2020 election, which he lost fair and square.
Reaction there from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle is pouring in today.
Honestly, I think my favorite is Tom Tillis telling Donald Trump to look forward. That's rich. That is a good one, Tom. Really funny. I know it wasn't intentionally funny, but it is hilarious. To try and recommend the most grudge holdingest man perhaps on the face of the planet to look forward, not backwards. Dude, he got us into a war with Iran to some degree because of Obama, right? Like, I mean, like, that stems from what it's like. You know what I mean? It's like a 10-year, like, this guy holds grudges like nobody else. Oh my God. And Tom Tillis wants him to look forward. Can't wait for that. I look forward to that.
It comes ahead of the president's primetime speech later tonight. CBS News is learning more about what the president plans to discuss and some topics on the table. Allegations that China meddled in U.S. elections. Let's go live to Washington and CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. Hey, Olivia. So Caroline Leavitt, she had her first briefing after maternity leave today. Did she say more about what we'll hear from the president later tonight?
She did. She did talk about it, and we heard from the president yesterday saying that he is going to be talking about elections and voting machines. And as you heard there from lawmakers, and we can even tell you here at CBS News, this is something that the president talks about pretty consistently. It is something he has talked about since the 2020 election. And normally, when you have a presidential primetime address, the reason why they would ask the networks for that time to address the nation would be something at the level of a national security incident. President Trump addressed the nation during COVID. We saw President Joe Biden do it several times. The last time President Trump did it was about the war in Iran. So we are waiting to hear exactly what the president has to say tonight about elections and voting integrity.
Yes, what is the president going to say about elections and voting integrity? Looking forward to that. So very much.
Our Ed O'Keefe in the press briefing today did ask Caroline Leavitt about it. Take a listen to her answer here.
It will shock you if you have an honest eye listening to the president.
I'm sorry, I just stepped on the line. This is one of my favorite things that Caroline's ever said. I actually think I do need a sound shot of this. But just, we'll play it multiple. We're going to play it at least twice.
Listen to her answer here.
It will shock you if you have an honest eye listening to the president tonight.
I just want everybody to take a second and unpack that mind-boggling statement from Caroline. Just think about it for a second, okay? I mean, it's quite a shocking statement. I'll give her that much. It sounds shocking, but whatever Trump is going to say will be mind-bogglingly shocking to anyone. Sure, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here, but point is, I mean, this is word for word. The rest of this is word for word. If you have an honest eye listening, if you're the more you think about it, the less it makes any sense. If you have an honest eye listening, whatever you hear will shock you. Oh God, I don't know about you. I don't use my eyes for much listening, but if we listen with our honest eyes, we will be shocked. Just write that down.
Here.
It will shock you if you have an honest eye listening to the president tonight.
Will the president accept the results of November's elections?
Look, Ed, you
Ed,
should
listen.
tune into the president's speech tonight before you jump ahead to conclusions about what's actually in the speech. Again, I've seen a lot of reporting and misreporting about what the president will say. We hope CBS will take the speech and all American.
I just love Caroline for her ridiculousness. Look, listen, Ed. Yes, Caroline. What now? Like, she's like, honestly, she's become like to some degree, I feel like we've watched her become more and more of an unwilling propagandist. Like, she's taking like a Sarah Huckabee Sanders sort of tone more and more. Like, and I'm here for it. Like, I'm here for it. Because I feel like Sarah took that sort of defensive posture pretty early on. But like, whereas like for like over a year, well over a year, Caroline has been on the front lines, just sort of like an offensive posture at all times.
Omega 5 Tar just cheered 100 bits. Did everyone place their polymarket bets?
Yeah, good question. Has everyone placed their polymarket bets on the president's speech yet? Gotta get those in. If you're a degenerate gambler. Now, since we are quick approaching Trump speech time, I just want to talk about the people once again we just briefly mentioned a second ago. In charge of making sure the president knows what to say while up there giving his speeches. Specifically, one teleprompter who's been accused of profiting to the tune of $100,000 betting on Trump speeches.
Well, here's one wager that might not pay off. Federal investigators say that a staffer with one of the best seats in the House for President Trump's...
Fix my shit so I can donate? Tell YouTube to fix their shit. They told me one reason. They initially told me one reason, which I appealed 3 months ago. They have now arbitrarily and without notification, I had to find it out for myself. They've completely changed the reasoning. It's like getting convicted of, like robbery or something, and then a week before parole being told, actually, we changed your conviction to something completely different, and you're going to have to prove that you're rehabilitated from that crime to the parole board. But my Cash App is on my thing. All of my donation things. My gosh. First off, people can, of course, donate on Twitch. Bits, power-up subs, gifted subs, Prime subs. We got Cash App and PayPal donation links on both the YouTube and Twitch descriptions. We got Throne. Great place to donate if you prefer to know exactly where your dollars are being spent. Physical items to contribute to there. Of course, we have Patreon as well. Become a member for $3 Earth dollars.
May have also had some big bets riding on them. Sources telling us that Trump's longtime teleprompter operator is accused of using inside knowledge to cash in on prediction markets, allegedly making more than $100,000 by betting on what the president would or would not say. And now he's negotiating a settlement with federal regulators. Let's bring in our Washington, D.C. Bureau Managing Editor, Catherine Falder. So what the heck is going on?
Right. It's a good question. Our reporting is that according to our sources, one of Trump's teleprompter operators, his main one, if you will, Gabriel Perez, has been found by federal regulators to have been betting on some of Trump's speeches. Over a 3-month period, we're told by sources that he bet on more than a dozen Trump speeches, including the one you see right there, the State of the Union speech. And while betting on those speeches, he made more than $100,000. Now, Kira, the way that he did this is he bet on Kalshi, the prediction market website, and you can go into what's called the mentions, if you will. So if you were to bet on it, you go to mentions, and then it would say, what is Trump going to mention in his State of the Union speech? It will list a number of words, and you could bet yes or no. Well, the person who knows that better than anybody is the person who is operating the teleprompter, the person who is closest to his words before he says them. Now, what's striking about this, according to our sources, who have told us what investigators have found, is that not only would he place these bets before the speeches, but he would actually bet out of these, if you will, while the speech was going on. So
this whole thing is fucking insane, and yet it's not shocking. Like I am disturbed by this story, but I am simultaneously not shocked. Do I find it almost comedic? 100%. It just in its just just because it is like it's like another chapter in a long, you know, like a long story of corruption that we've been watching here for like a year and a half. This isn't even the first scandal, and the Trump boys are literally to some degree involved in the regulating of these financial markets that all this stuff is happening on. I mean, we had the Venezuela thing. We were a soldier bet on the invasion of Venezuela. I mean, it's the levels of corruption that we've seen in self-dealing here, either by Trump family, or people in the orbit of Donald Trump, is just it reaches a scale never before seen. You know, it's unprecedented.
For example, if the prompter operator saw that Trump may have skipped a section in the speech, or that he was deviating from his remarks, and Perez were to place a yes bet on a word that he may have said in the part that he was jumping over, while that was going on, then he would trade out of that bet, if you will, change it to no, which is a remarkable finding, at least from investigators here. Now, what we're
yeah, I mean, there's a delay, right? There is a delay for multiple reasons because it's a live event. And so this individual allegedly used their proximity to this not only to bet on what they already knew was going to be said in the speeches, but then mid-speech, if Trump skipped over something and then they had the time to get out of the bet, they would. It's crazy. It is crazy. But it's the perfect job if you want to, do something like that. But holy shit, $100,000 extra. I mean, he's already getting paid how hard can that job be in the first place? The Trump speech is about to get started any second now. I'll do a couple more clips on this teleprompter operator and then we'll get to it. It just felt right to leave this in the coverage, the pre-speech coverage today, because we have a speech going on. I mean, there could be another teleprompter operator out there. It could be a ring of teleprompter operators. Who knows?
Illegal.
A White House teleprompter operator is being accused of making more than $90,000 from betting on President Trump's speeches through the trading platform Kalshi. NBC News business and economy reporter Ali Canal joins me now. So, Ali, you have been leading the coverage on this. You've talked to federal investigators. What have you learned about these allegations?
So, a lot of moving parts here, right? These trades were allegedly made by Gabriel Perez. He has been employed and under the employment of President Trump since 2016, a longtime teleprompter operator. And he made more than $90,000 betting on Kalshi by allegedly wagering on what the president would say during major speeches. So, this is information that he would have access to, definitely would be considered insider trading. Okay. Now, in a statement, the CFTC told us that they can neither confirm nor deny the investigation, but then a source familiar with the situation did say that Perez is cooperating with the CFTC and that he is likely to make some sort of a settlement with the agency. Remember?
Wait, what? He's going to settle with the agency? See, that's the thing that I was like, wait, is there actually a ring of like teleprompter operators? What is he cooperating on? Is there a larger crime at hand here? Because that would be the normal reason for cooperation, right? Usually, if you're the one committing a crime and you're the only one committing a crime, there's no chance for cooperation, like unless there's some very strange extenuating circumstances. Ones that I can't even come up with right now, but like, like, well, what is he cooperating on exactly? That's what I'd love to know. We should have a bingo. Oh, you're right. We should. I should have prepared for this better. We should have done a bingo for this. That would have been good. Too late now, I'm afraid. I'm just not prepared. And the speech is about to go off any second. So I'm literally switching over to that now. Just to make sure we don't miss any of it. Oh my god. Oh my god, the AP's chat is wild. Look at it's just Trump, Epstein. There's like 30 accounts in here, all just spamming all caps, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump, Epstein, Trump. It's just like at least 30 accounts. Oh my god. They're all different accounts. Okay, no, I saw two same. Holy shit. That's a lot of Trump Epsteins. That's a lot of Trump Epsteins in the chat. Jesus Christ.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
People are clearly still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. No matter how much Trump may want them to stop or how long he's been talked about for. Years. Oh my god. This is wild. Trump, buy me a Ram 2500 HD brand new, please. I need a truck. People are just asking for Trump gifts in the chat. Do they think he's reading this? It's got to be a bot. No actual, no human man could possibly. I actually take that back. Now that I've said it, I do feel I want to take this statement back already. I do actually think a human man could be that stupid. Ah, damn it, humanity.
This is a human man.
It's like reading a live prayer. It's exactly what it's like. I'll tithe $5 and ask Trump for a Ram 2500 HD. I need a new truck. Daddy needs a new truck. Let me tithe my way into it real quick. Please, Mr. President. Sunroof package preferred, if possible. American flag blue truck liner in the back. Fuck yeah!
Daddies are more stronger than mommies.
Dad!
Just a reminder, everybody, if you haven't already, hit that follow button on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Bell icon, like button. Very helpful. And while you're at it, do consider contributing to the Galactic News Network, as we are completely funded by individuals like you. And without your support, we would cease to exist. I would just go floating off into that deep dark void, never to be seen again. Thankfully, we got a lot of great ways for you to show your support. Twitch, Cash App, PayPal, Throne, and Patreon. Sadly, we're still demonetized on YouTube. and it's not clear when that will be solved. Hopefully one day. Still waiting for the president to make this speech of his. Supposed to happen any minute now. I heard somewhere between 8:45 and 9 p.m. Whether that can be counted on or not, hard to say. Honestly, we've been struggling quite a lot lately, and the galactic deficit isn't even kind of close to being complete. Now, over half of the way through the month, I personally getting pretty worried about what this means for the future of the Galactic News Network. I think we're at 150 of 900. That's not good. That's a bad math. The math ain't mathin' on the galactic deficit this month. We need your help, Space Fams. Perhaps more than ever. So we got like 80% of the goal left. Only half the month. Awful.
Holy Toledo.
You think he's gonna be late? He could be late. It's entirely possible. I would not be shocked to find out the president is late tonight, as often he is. He's not the most on-time guy. Let's see what the AP chat is saying. I'm sure it's completely hinged. I'm sure it's fully hinged. Not in the slightest unhinged. Oh, wait. Nope, still a lot. Oh my god. A lot of Trump Epsteins still in the chat. Now ones with little hearts in them added in. I love Zionism, says one deranged viewer. You're wrong. At no one. Unclear who's wrong. Israeli flags. Trump America. Wow. Put him in prison. You liberals are actual idiots. Lol says, hey, it's Ricky. Con man speech tonight. U.S. is a terrorist state. Kamala X Trump. Epstein lives. What does that mean? Epstein still. Oh my god.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Oh, the Epstein lives conspiracy theorists are pretty fascinating. Really focused on that one. There's not a ton of evidence for it. Although there are some things I guess you could use. That's a lot of 6-7s. Wow. It's mostly 6-7s now in the chat. Yep, 6-7. 90% of messages are now 6-7. For Narnia. Let's get ready to mumble. Let's make some profits. He on that AMBS again. Hard to say. Trump is the greatest president ever, says Ronald Reagan rocks. You're a moron.
You're a moron.
How many of them are bots? Hard to say. Hard to say. It's so many 6-7s. We got a 4-7. You might have parasites in TDS. Who is still unironically saying TDS in 2026? Like, seriously. It might have, like, this, like, the TDS thing, I think, was most effective when Trump was most popular. But when you got like a historically low popularity rating, hard to claim that it's some sort of virus, some sort of disease. Trump derangement syndrome. It's an affliction. It afflicts most of the country. How do we inoculate it? Hard to say. Yeah, Trump devotion syndrome. Trump dick riding syndrome. He's going to abdicate. That, in my opinion, if we had some sort of pool, that would be the lowest. That's got to be the least likely of all things for Trump to come out and be like, actually, I'm sick of it. Okay, I got the election was stolen in 2020. Then I win, and actually, a year and a half into this, I'm sick. I'm done. I'm done. Let JD run the country. I don't care. Doesn't matter. If he does that, I will eat my helmet. Look, we found a chatter on Kalshi. Trump, please say Bitcoin. I think this must be that must be Trump's teleprompter guy. Trump, please say Bitcoin. I know that I don't work for you anymore, but I need this bet to work out. We got a fucked up society, dude. We gotta figure this shit. We gotta do something about this. We can't be betting on words people say in speeches. That can't be like a it can't be like a normalized thing. And actually, this guy wasn't fired, from what I understand. The teleprompter guy is on unpaid leave. They're assessing what to do. They're not sure what to do about it. super chats on the APs. Wow. By the way, speaking of super chats, I want to take this moment to say thank you to two different people. Hold on, let me pull this up. Two different people. One on Cash App. For the goal. 20 bones. Hope this helps. It does help. Also, this. Oh, shit. Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before. We are doing great.
Everything's
Less
great.
than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murderers, many of whom killed more than one person. We had transgender for everybody, men and women sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation, but not anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. America is respected like we have never been respected before. We have more money being invested in the United States than at any time in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly.
I did it.
Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of health care. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it.
I'm sorry, is everybody paying 90% less for all their prescription drugs? This guy is saying so many crazy fucking things in this thing already. It's wild. I did it. I made drugs 90% cheaper. As I said, hey, you guys want to knock that off?
Columbiarican_9505 just cheered 100 bits. So he's repeating his lies. Of course. All we are seeing is a scratched record. Why does he need a teleprompter to say the same things he's been saying for the entire 2 years?
Yeah.
But the cost of health care is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to TrumpAccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible.
We have dangerously
to
exposes.
hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by the fact that when I tried to pull up whitehouse.gov, it did, the website is down. Wait. Yep, the website is down. Huh. Weird. That's very weird. Well, I guess we'll check it out later. It's there, don't worry. It's there.
People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote. and engage in other nefarious activities. Exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China has signed a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people,
Very
in many
famous
cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling.
Oh, wow.
Covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the
data
alarm
of
instead
voters
kept the information secret and hidden.
Wait. I'm not sure Trump even understands the difference between these two things. But the data of voters, I can barely say this properly right now because like this is all happening in real time. But wait, the data of voters and voter data are two different things, and he said them in both ways just now, didn't he? He just said that. He just said it in both ways, and they mean two completely different things, right? Like Facebook and Meta. Right, like the Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Google, all these people, they're selling data that happens to be the data of voters, but that's not voter data in the election sense. So it's not entirely clear what he's trying to fucking say here.
Not disclosed to me as president or to anyone else and to the millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China.
Voters'
Yet
data.
those responsible for sounding the alarm instead.
Voters' data. Voters' data, not voter data, but voters' data. It's hard to say, like accuracy of words with Trump is quite a minefield. But voters' data, I hear that as voter apostrophe as data, right? Two words, voters' data. One is a contraction or whatever you want to call that. I forget the grammatical term for that. But representing, but like it doesn't actually mean voter data.
The information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country.
Who's they?
A standard, very pat line that was...
He keeps saying they. China?
China!
Joe Biden?
I'm staying in the
race. It's the deep state. A very famous group of people. Everybody knows them. It's the whole thing, all of the deep state, which is exactly what I am now. Like, Trump is literally the deep state right now. He was also the deep state back in 2020, I would point out. He was in charge of the federal government. Right? Like, let's not forget, Trump was still in charge of the federal government to some degree back in 2020, even though he had lost the midterms, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I mean, he was still the deep state. Everybody knows.
Divvied out to say the cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our...
_9505 just cheered 100 bits. Trump knows he's cooked, so he's trying to go after the integrity of the midterm elections. All his plans for the Save America Act to be put forward has failed, and this seems like his last hurrah.
Exactly. Exactly. This is just a desperate attempt to get this voter repression bill across the finish line. It got stalled out in the House weeks ago.
2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. What? The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him.
This is so stupid. Oh my god. Now he wants to do Russia? He wants to do Russia. He wants to do Russiagate? Get fucking Glenn Beck out here, do his best fucking Rachel Maddow impression? Is this really what he's about to do? Like, some people were suggesting this would be what he was gonna do. This is wild. China.
As many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA.
Wow. There are a lot of claims being thrown out in here. Now the CIA has got evidence that China manufactured ballots in the 2020 election, according to the president. Dude, this shit is out of control. I gotta hear that one more time. I'm sorry. That was fucking nuts. What in the fuck was just said?
Gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened.
Oh my God.
Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done.
We found Obama burn bags. Dude, this shit is just like some like the level of conspiratorial like thinking that is at play here coming from a guy wearing a fucking tinfoil hat on his helmeted head. This is off the fucking reservation, okay?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Oh my God, we found the Obama burn bag. It is revelatory.
This is ridiculous.
Different level by different people,
He's obsessed.
incinerated and
Like, he is obsessed with Barack Obama. It has been, I mean, Barack Obama has not been in power for 10 years. I had to think about it for a second. It's been 10 long years since Barack Obama was in power. And he is still just like obsessed with the man. It's why he got us out of the JCPOA. And the number of other things that we've seen him do. I mean, it's just, oh my God. This man needs help.
You have a mental health problem.
but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags.
Maybe he was incompetent.
But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems, dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including, at a minimum, Russia, China,
Russia's involved
as
now?
well as non-state groups,
Russia's involved
have the
too.
capability to
Wait. Russia. Now he's doing it. Now Trump is Trump is Rachel Maddow. Look, Rachel had a lot of good points, actually. What do you think about it? Russia getting involved in our elections, maybe not good. Huh. Weird. Really, that's really weird.
That's really Columbia
weird.
_9505 just cheered 100 bits.
This is
We all know
fascinating.
this speech is for his base. Cause honestly the majority is
What does his
tuning
base
him
think
out.
about that, though?
He's just repeating conspiracies he knows he has no real evidence of. I think this has added a nail to the coffin for the Repubs in the midterms.
Absolutely.
That's my assessment.
No, absolutely. Like, I'm with you on like 95% of that, Columbia Rican, but like that, like the last 5% is what the fuck does the base think about that? You see, now he's claiming Russia was involved in this. Like, haven't they spent the last 10 years going on and on about how that's a ridiculous Democrat conspiracy theory, and now he's doing Russiagate. Now he's literally doing Russiagate. Listen, he just said Russia and China were involved.
Adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran,
Russia,
North Korea,
Russia,
as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country.
Supposedly great patriots.
The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026, this is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro.
This is deranged. I mean, I can't believe they are doing 2020 election 2.0. They're going back to all the hits. Now they got a bunch of other new shit that they're throwing into the mix too. This is wild. This is the wild shit. I can almost guarantee you is not going to prove that the election is stolen from Donald Trump. But I cannot... 25th Amendment, anybody? I mean, I cannot believe this fucking guy is standing here giving this speech. I also am struggling to find... The WhiteHouse.gov website's back up, but I cannot find any of these releases that he's claiming that they're releasing. I don't know if they're waiting for him to be done speaking, or if he's gonna... Is they gonna bring out like a... They're gonna bring out one of those whiteboards they have at school now that are like interactive iPads, basically.
In Venezuela, and that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and...
No, what he's claiming is this is quite a claim. I mean, because, first off, people like Mike Lindell, owes millions still, I think, to... Like, he's like... is he in bankruptcy proceedings over this? Like, he's like... I mean... The whole Pillow empire is, like, under threat because he owes so much money to all these election... voting machine companies and all this other stuff. How many people have gone to jail over this at this point, or owe millions of dollars? You got Rudy Giuliani. You got... I'm trying to think of all... There's a bunch of... We all know. It's like all of the evil villain, henchmen of Trump from the first term, right? Right? Didn't what's his name? The white hair. Fuck, he's claiming that the government has been hiding information that would have exonerated those people this whole time, and that these machines were somehow used nefariously. That's what he's saying. He's coming back and he's replaying all of these things that have been litigated in court and proven to be false. The president of the United States. This shit is crazy.
This is the very definition of totalitarianism. Covered up. Among the disclosures tonight,
Peter Navarro,
FBI files
sure, him too.
detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat.
Wait. So now that's a crime? Paying people to go vote? What about Elon Musk?
Well, first of all, some of the things that I say will be incorrect.
And let's not forget that Elon Musk has just been referred to Wisconsin, to like a Wisconsin grand jury or something like that, over his decision to pay people $1 million a pop. How is that? It's incredible that he wants to stand here and talk to us about gift cards. Incredible. The
FBI agents work.
Even if he does have evidence for that, there's got to be some amount of equity here, right? Like we can't be complaining about gift cards while our biggest donor, and by our I mean Donald Trump, the president of the United States, biggest donor, was doing that thing to a degree that no one has ever seen before in the history of American politics.
On the case, believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls.
Columbiarican_9505 just cheered 100 bits. You know what's fascinating while he's doing this speech? Look at his face. His facial expression goes back and forth from desperation, confusion, smirking, and panic.
Yeah, no, he is devolving. I think to some degree, right? Like Trump's mental state, his mental state and or capacity is tied to his popularity. He needs people to like him, right? Like he is like a textbook narcissist. He's also very old. He's an octogenarian. We just celebrated his 80th birthday with our tax dollars earlier this year and last year to remind us of his procession into old age. Deeper and deeper into old age. I mean, he's been old since we first got elected, let's be real. But I think we're witnessing a man who, as his popularity continues to drop, a man who has no other way to measure himself, thrashing in front of us, right? Like a fish out of water, right? Like the water is the ratings. And when he goes down in the ratings, his mental capacity and state are diminished. We already know it's starting from a baseline of bad, right? Like even when he believes that he's got 100% popularity, that doesn't mean good things. But somehow things devolve from there, and We're now here where he's the most unpopular he's ever been and that any president has ever been at this point in a second term presidency. He's failing in a war, failing to do any of the things he promised in his campaign, aside from the cruelest aspects of it, like going after immigrants and mass deportations. You know, record cruelty, but also record failures, right? And that's not a good combination. I think we were just watching him flail because he has no idea how to actually be popular. Right? Do we believe that Trump has ever, like I was saying before, do we believe that Trump has any real friends? People who are either there because of his money or proximity to some sort of business deal, right? Like, or like I don't think he knows how to have real, like, normal human friends, like talk to other human beings. And so he's just trying all the hits over and over again now. He's just like going back to the stuff that used to work. Do you remember 2020? Remember that? 2016? Barack Obama? Dominion?
I'm staying in the race.
According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through.
I am on the White House website right now, on the releases portion. I'm looking, believe me, I'm looking very hard, but nothing yet on this that I can tell yet released here today. Caroline said we were all going to understand this by the end of this. I'm still, honestly, I'm looking for some proof now because Trump is making some crazy, he just had hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants on the voter rolls. Where's the evidence for that? We need some evidence for these claims. This is the president saying that there's hundreds, not just 100,000, but hundreds of thousands. Where's any of that evidence? We've over decades of elections monitoring in this country, there's never been any evidence to that claim. And he's claiming that the FBI actually has been sitting on it for years.
The mail.
Or that his FBI, the Kash Patel, uncovered all of this somehow.
As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing.
Jesus Christ.
This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing.
Talking about who?
All we want
They're
is
using our
honesty in
airways.
our elections and honesty in reporting.
What is he talking about? Which airways is he talking? It's hard to tell. What do you mean, planes? Or the radio? What is he talking about? It's not clear what our octogenarian president is saying right now. They're using our airways. I don't know what that means. I gotta hear that one more time.
Billion-dollar in value airways
Our
for
multi-billion-dollar.
absolutely no money. They pay nothing.
They're using our multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. Oh my God. Oh, it's tragic. I have no idea what that means.
All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to
does he
our
not
country.
look defeated right
Our
there?
elections were left.
Look at it. Look at his body language in this photo. He looks so defeated by the teleprompter. Like he's stuck on this multi-billion-dollar in value statement. Like he doesn't know what to say. I know he's got a new. He's got like the B team. He's got the B team on the teleprompter tonight. But just look at his body language right now. He looks like a defeated man. He's just looking at multi-billion-dollar in value. I don't know. It's bad. Everybody's saying it. That's what happens, I guess. You know, when you, I don't actually have a lesson from this. But that, I guess, is what happens when you have people in your near proximity, people working for you who are making illegal bets based upon their job performance.
They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue.
Why can't everybody just get along?
It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying.
Okay, nothing Trump has said up to this point is irrefutable. Just in case anybody's listening and wondering to themselves, no, nothing said here tonight. In fact, I'm fairly sure it's all very refutable. And I'm waiting for them to actually release any of the evidence for these claims the president has put forth here. You don't get to just say words and be like, this is irrefutable, as everyone knows. That's just not how it works. Oh, God. This guy is insane.
We have a demented, unintelligent person running the United States of America.
I've revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others.
And others.
We will be working closely to mitigate any harm and We're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without
5 just cheered 100 bits. Quote-unquote non-us citizens on voter rolls. Basically, he wants to remove all minorities from voting.
Yeah, what I'm going to recommend people do is that you do almost the exact thing that Trump has told you to do, but just slightly different. Trump just said, call your senators, do that. Call your representatives, tell them that you don't want a poll tax. You don't want to be prevented from voting. You don't want your loved ones in your community to be prevented from voting. And if they do vote to prevent you people from voting, or if they prevent people from voting, that they would be that they should expect some sort of retribution. Certainly electorally speaking, vis-a-vis their position in government, losing it in the general election, which is coming up.
immediately, if not sooner.
Immediately, if not sooner. What should you call them? Whatever words. I mean, perhaps be diplomatic. It's up to you. It's democracy. You can, just don't, no, just no physical threats.
Delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
I guess that was it. That was insane. How long was that? 20, was that only 25 minutes? You gotta be kidding. That felt like 2 hours. That shit was not, it just, so, it's like the thoughts of a deranged lunatic being forced into my brain. Like, that was insane. What did I just hear? Trump just harkened back both to the 2016 and the 2020 elections. Obama, what is he claiming here? He claims the FBI had a burn bag, an Obama-era burn bag that wasn't burned, that could be revelatory, although it wasn't clear what was in the bag. Although he did kind of suggest that the bag would prove that the election was, that Obama tried to steal the election from him. Not clear whether it's 2016 or the 2020 election. But then he also claimed that the 2020 election was stolen from him, and they have proof that China and Russia were both involved in that somehow. By influencing businesses, what was it again? Businesses and canvassers or something. He made a lot of claims about Chinese influence in this election and multiple elections in our elections more broadly. Supposedly they have some sort of massive network, according to him. That's been it's weird. How did he get elected? It was just too big to rig, I guess. I don't know, but a lot of claims about election systems, machines, and then claiming that the SAVE Act needed to be passed to prevent all of this nefarious meddling coming out of Russia and China. Russia, Russia, Russia. China, China, China. This was fucking insane. I'm still trying to grasp all the things that he said. I know he said more stuff in there, but it's just, there was so much in that 30 minutes. What else was he saying? What else did he say about the elections? He said some very disturbing things. Oh, right. He said there's hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants on voter rolls, according to the FBI. And I think China had something to do with that. I don't know what, but that's what he made it sound like. I'm still looking on the WhiteHouse.gov website here, looking for a release. Today is July 16th. All you got is Trump administration unleashes global campaign to crush radical left terrorism. I don't think that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this massive document dump that proves all of these claims, but I can't find it. You know, this is supposedly big deal. They got this GIF on the front. And this other weird shit. Secure the border. Grow the economy. Strengthen national security. Unleash American energy and make America healthy again. None of those are election security. And it's weird. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is here. Why I'm the idiot that can't figure this out. And I even went here. Save America. This would be the place you would expect this trove of evidence. Nope. It's just a pitch for the Save America Act, and that's it. Urge your senator to pass the Save America Act. Uncle Sam tells you to do it. Bringing out all the hits, all the greats, all the best propagandists of the 20th century. But no evidence, which you would think would accompany the incredibly bombshell claims being made here. Maybe that's just me, but you claim hundreds of thousands. You're going to go back and try and relitigate something that's already been litigated to the point that a bunch of your allies and yourself either were convicted of crimes relating to this, spent jail time regarding all of this, paid money, and or are still owe millions of dollars. Like, it's just crazy that they want to do this and then once again not provide any evidence, because of course they can't do it. They couldn't do it then. They can't do it now. He was in charge of the government in 2020. It was Trump's FBI in 2020, right? He was president. They couldn't prove it in court. That's why they all lost. That's why nobody won their court cases. It's just insane that they want to do this right now. Going into a midterm election seems deeply irresponsible and problematic. Can't possibly end well for any of us. Like, I feel like he's heading for like a Jan 6 2.0. That's like the next step. Like, what exactly is left here? When we look at history, if we just go by history, the last time he was making these claims, we wound up with a bunch of deranged lunatics claiming that the elections were stolen on the Capitol Hill, like armed and ready to go. Right? We had like a fucking whole group of lunatics put up a gallows on like the Capitol Rotunda or whatever you call it. Right? Then they stormed the Capitol and committed a bunch of crimes, property destruction, assault, things of that nature. They were convicted, and then of course Trump released them, and then created a DOJ fund of $1 billion+ to dole out $1 million like a piece in theory to those insurrectionists. Like, I'm right. Am I the crazy one, or am I just going by history here? Last time he was saying this shit, we got ourselves into a real doozy. Good. People remember. Okay, so what I want to say real quick, I started this, but then the speech went and I had to pause. But one dono from Cash App, right? 20 bones. That one definitely helps. Thank you very much. Already added that to the financing goal. But then I got 2 other donos over on PayPal. Very generous indeed. One from Glitchmaster. I wonder what incessant ramblings will Dementia Don will be subjecting us to tonight. Hope folks on the East Coast and Canada are staying safe from the smoke and fires. I hate it here. Hope the view up there isn't too daunting, GSL. Glitchmaster. Yes. Yes, indeed. Whoopsies, didn't mean to do that. What did I just do? Okay, okay. I just logged myself out. And the dono from Hermit Horologist as well. A bit closer to the goal. Yes, indeed. $30 from Herm, $50 from Glitchmaster, getting us way over the galactic content goal for tonight. Which I wasn't even sure I would do, but now I am sure. Now I am sure. You all deserve it. So, I already have a list ready. I think what I will do You think you're on the verge of news dropping about 2024? Yeah, should be keeping our eyes out on that. I got a whole stream's worth of news here, but just to break it up a little bit, I'm gonna do a separate stream. So I'll create a new live stream link. And then we'll be back at it. Plus, I know that the leftist mafia is still finishing up their shit, so maybe we can get a few minutes of that before we come back. But we got a fuck ton of stuff to talk about here tonight. Really appreciate all those donos. And since it happened during this stream, we'll at least do a confetti party. I'll at least do this little confetti party here for you. So we can celebrate the fact that we're going to get all the sweet, sweet content that I have planned for us tonight. Stuff like cyclosporiasis. Something getting worse and worse. We would have been prepared for it if we didn't have a bunch of deranged lunatics in charge of our health apparatus. Ice killings, and the public's response to all of this. Returned violence to our streets. Elections. The number of different rulings in courts. Bad ones for Trump, actually. A number of bad rulings for Trump in the last few days. And then, of course, floods. Oh, so many life-threatening floods hitting Texas. In in Uvalde, of all places.
What?
As well as, of course, in China, Typhoon Bobby. We'll talk about that and the horrifying fires still plaguing the West, as well as Canada. That and so much more. Alright, everybody. Enjoy the break. Grab yourselves a drink, maybe a snack, and we will be right back. Well, we got through another live stream. Wasn't that hard, but thankfully we still had each other to get through it. That's gonna be it for me, for now. Till I see you next, you stay classy, Galactic Stream Nation. Can't forget these people. These are your galactic patrons. Gabby, Goth Dogs, Aaron W, Schmeggly, PB, Mitty, Afroponics, All World by Nature, Interplanet Janet, Godcat, Robot Cat, Disco Wolf, Canley Braiding, Sammy, Geo Dragon, The Anticorbitist, Obsessive Audio, Momonoa, Nadia, Jokey, Skelts, Selena, Omega Star, Sasha G, Pitchfork Dragon, Vincent Morales, Donald James X, Evan from Portland, Lovely Pariah, Mish, Becky, Decipher, Icebreaker, Columbia, Rica, New York, Real in Detroit, Sisyphean Task, BC, Free Palestine, Hermit Neurologist, HBX, Panda, Lori Lunchmeat, Carl Gaslight Docracy, Paige Larson, Frizla, Benihana 99, Dark Sparkle, CJ from the 6, The Reference Frame, Glitchmaster, Social Butterfly, The Anarchist, Perfect XL, Winnie and Robin, Young Chris, Echios, Emily S, Hecate, Trevor, Sweet Chewy Forever, Rogue Gerb, and Tracy Eva. That's right, all these people here have helped produce the show, which Ryan's and just got done enjoying. You can too for just a few US dollars a month on Patreon.